Hi, I'm Lavanya, and along with Michael, Lou, and Andre, we're graduate students at the University of Michigan School of Information, taking a class called Needs Assessment and Usability Evaluation. This past semester, we had the opportunity to advise the IBM team about the user experience of their new service, Bluemix. IBM released Bluemix in February 2014 as a platform as a service that enables developers to rapidly build, deploy, and manage their cloud applications.
Throughout the evaluation process, our team focused on the usability of creating and maintaining a WordPress site on Bluemix. We decided to focus on this particular aspect of IBM Bluemix to provide a stronger scope for our project and to cater to the needs of our client.
While serving as usability consultants for IBM Bluemix, we were able to apply several UX research methods such as interviews, surveys, heuristic evaluations, a comparative analysis, and usability tests. Based on the data collected during these research stages, we proposed key findings and recommendations, which we will mention soon.
But now, let's talk about the process. First, we made a timeline of all the assignments and tasks that were asked of us by our instructors as well as by the Bluemix team. Although we had to modify some of these deadlines, the schedule held us accountable and kept us on track from a project management perspective. Then, we dove straight into interfacing with Bluemix. In order to acquaint ourselves with the software, we created an interaction map. By exploring various links, we were able to visualize all the possible features and user workflows of Bluemix. Since none of us had a strong development background, it was time to get to know professional software developers and technical managers. We conducted 6 interviews with both web and application developers, all of whom held different job titles, roles, and years of experience.
In addition, we developed personas that were based off of the data collected in our interviews. After studying the backgrounds and motivations of our user interviewees, we eventually agreed on 3 personas: the CTO and lead developer, the power user, and the self-taught programmer. While our interviews and personas resulted in substantial findings and recommendations, we needed to confirm them beyond our current sample size. We proceeded by conducting an online survey via Qualtrics. The goal of our survey was to collect more qualitative and quantitative data about the use patterns and behaviors of our target audience. Our team then shifted to internal research. Many of our survey responses listed other platforms as a service that offered similar features and services to Bluemix. This helped inform our comparative analysis.
After analyzing how Bluemix's competitors approached web development, it was time to dig deeper into their user experience. As a guideline, we used Jacob Nielsen's 10 usability heuristics, which included consistency, visibility, error recovery, and recognition versus recall. I don't know about you, but this list is framed and hanging on my wall. Each member of our team analyzed certain section features of Bluemix and verified whether or not they aligned with or violated a usability heuristic. Finally, it was time to conduct usability testing. We successfully recruited 6 users, all with different job titles, roles, and years of development experience. During each usability session, we asked users to complete scenario-based tasks, such as creating a WordPress application on Bluemix. Then, we asked behavioral questions such as their opinion on their experience with IBM Bluemix. We also posed more general reflective questions about the visual and informational layout of Bluemix.
Phew! Throughout this project, we've proposed many usability findings and recommendations. Now we'll distill these down to just a few. First, the network reliability of a platform as a service is a top concern. Reliability was an issue with some of the features, boilerplates, and with the system in general. These issues created error messages that were sometimes generic, technical, and uninformative about corrective actions. During our usability testing and heuristic evaluations, we noticed that our users expressed confusion when encountering these messages, as they were unaware of how to recover from them. Sometimes, they weren't even sure what the problem was. Additionally, we noticed a lack of visibility during several of Bluemix's processes. During the application staging process, the software would display a loading symbol, oftentimes for several minutes. Many of our users mentioned that they were unaware of their application's current status or if their application was even healthy at that moment. As a recommendation, Bluemix could ensure the safety of a user's application during staging and restarting processes. This involves making the application creation process more transparent and informing the user of the status of their application and the time remaining until the process is complete. Error messages can also inform the user of their application's health and maintain consistency across the site by clearly explaining consequences of the error and methods of recovery. Finally, experimental and beta services should be clearly expressed to the IBM customers, who will understand when breakdowns occur.
Second, the wizard assistance for setting up an application on Bluemix can be unintuitive and inconsistent. This was especially true for users who wanted to develop an entirely new type of application. Our heuristic evaluation revealed a lack of consistency between applications in the wizard assistance process, specifically in terms of terminology and guidance. In addition, the naming of services was confusing and non-standard in comparison to Bluemix's competitors. Our users confirmed our findings during usability testing when they mentioned confusion with some of the terminology and icons in the wizard assistant processes, such as choosing a starter to create a WordPress application. As a recommendation, all processes of creating applications on Bluemix, including that of a WordPress site, should follow a similar wizard assistance pattern. Whether it is for PHP or using boilerplate templates, the development interface should follow consistent step-by-step processes that are also natural to the user and provide freedom between steps.
Third, documentation is extremely important. In fact, many of our users from both our usability interviews and testing indicated that they use documentation multiple times per day, especially those who adopted a new software system. The Bluemix documentation pages contain a heavy amount of text. There is no simple way for users to search for and filter specific information within a text-heavy documentation page. A few of our users even mentioned that this is overwhelming and it makes navigation tough when a user is trying to find needed guidance. As a recommendation, we propose the addition of an in-page navigation tool that contains links to the various sections within the page. Also, providing screenshots and other visual components can complement instructions for pushing code or creating an application.
Overall, these were our major findings and recommendations. We believe that appropriate next steps would include A/B testing of the Bluemix interface, studying the community forum using semantic analysis, and testing the creation of other applications aside from a WordPress site. Well, that about wraps up our semester. We'd like to thank the Bluemix team for partnering with us to create a meaningful usability evaluation. And of course, thanks to our instructors and classmates for their feedback and guidance throughout this whole process.